I don't know where to start.
Yeah.
That was a really, really, really good episode.
It was a good episode.
It was Rumple and Hook filled, which I loved because they're probably two of my favorite characters.
Yeah, they're definitely the two best characters on the show. So we'll start with the big thing that everyone was anticipating. You know, the storyline aside.
The Captain Swan date. The Captain Swan date. There are way, way, way too many emotions right now.
There's going to be at least like 1,000 gifts that'll come out of this.
Yeah.
Different ones.
From the very beginning, I love how the episode started off where she was asking Henry permission, kind of like, you know, like, is it okay to do this? He's like, no, like, I want to see you happy. When she asks Hook out and he like throws the dart and he like misses, like even that little moment. And then, I don't know exactly what she said, but she said something along the lines of, not like, I don't put out on a first date. I don't know what she said. I want.
It was pretty much that.
I want to believe she said I don't put out on a first date.
I don't make that full commitment on the first date.
And then he's like, well, you haven't been on a date with me yet, so.
Well, I don't pillage and plunder on the first date, just so you know.
Well, that's because you haven't been out with me yet. See you tonight.
There was like at least 100 Hook eyebrows in this episode too.
Yeah.
So many of those like.
He was so freaking hot. He's just like, I don't even know what I find more attractive, when he's like pirate Hook or when he's like modern Hook. And then she's like, what do I call you? He's like, Killian's fine. Like, there's just so many moments. And then when she saw him and then he was just like,
you look stunning, Swan.
like the look on his face. And then when they were like holding hands, like intertwining and like all that stuff. And then like when, oh my God, everything.
And then just talking, when he's just like explaining the dates and take her on and all that.
Yeah, and then like he like pulled out the chair for her. And he was like saying hi to the bartender.
Hold on. When he first shows up at their house, right?
Mm-hmm.
And like, you know, she's all dressed up and she's just in the first moment when he opens the door and like he's dressed up.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. He was just like taken aback. He was like, you look stunning. And when Mary Margaret and David were waiting for them,
yeah,
that was so funny. He's like, oh, look, I guess Hook has really changed. She's like, I can still hear you. I noticed that Emma probably said about like 6 times in the episode, I need to get my own place.
Yeah, she kept saying it over and over again.
Because I think she really wants to have sex with Hook and she can't.
And
she just go to the docks. I don't know.
She's like a, you know, full-grown adult. She doesn't want to like live with her parents who are pretty much the same age as her. But anyways, getting to the show. So the show opened up.
Oh wait, can we just say one more thing about that kiss? That kiss and the holding hands and how she was wearing his jacket. Oh, okay.
It's endless. We can make a whole separate video about it. Well, you could. Back
to the date, Jake was saying how when Hook grabbed Will.
Oh yeah, this is as the episode's happening. You know, he went to Rumple and Rumple's like, oh, you know, that hand's gonna make the bad side of you come out and all that jazz. Mm-hmm. And sorry, my nose is itchy. So later on, when what's the guy's name?
Will.
Will. So when Will stumbles over and knocks that drink on Emma, and he's like, come here, I'm gonna beat you up, right? I thought like for Hook and his personality, you know, I thought that was a perfectly rational way for him to act, you know, because he's trying to impress this girl and like he's just like that kind of guy. He kept blaming me on a hand and he's like, and then obviously.
I think that would make sense for Hook to do that on a normal day. Maybe just like the abruptness of it, he was a little shocked, like taken aback, like whoa. Yeah. So at the end of the episode, Rumple was saying he wasn't cursed and he was just freaking punching people like
yeah, he wanted to. Exactly, right? So that's kind of like what I was
But then why was he having that reaction?
Because he was blaming in his head. He was just like, psychologically, he was blaming it all on that. But really, it's just like...
He like grabs Emma's ass and he's like, it was the hand.
Like, I guess he's been holding that side of him back the whole time without the hand is there.
Right.
He just goes with it and he's like, oh, well, it's the hand's fault. Opens up with like the subtitle, a very long time ago. Kind of broad.
Which could be the beginning of time,
but yeah, so the
50 years ago.
The show the
Sorcerer's Apprentice.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
I don't know the story of the Sorcerer's Apprentice, but I loosely get it.
From my knowledge, I only saw Fantasia. Mickey Mouse is like a poor guy, I guess. I don't know. He just like, has that cloak and he like uses a broom and stuff like that. Like he's one of those people, he's the Sorcerer's Apprentice and he works for the sorcerer, which is kind of what that old man was. And then, yeah. And then Mickey Mouse comes across the hat and then gets all the power, and then like he has all this magic now. So
Yeah.
he was the sorcerer's apprentice, and now he's like the sorcerer.
Like, you know, the whole flashbacks of Anna and Rumple making that deal, and then like the dude gets turned into a mouse. Like right away, I was like, okay,
Oh,
well,
Mickey Mouse.
Yeah, Mickey Mouse. That's cool how they did that.
I don't think he's actually Mickey Mouse. I think that was just a little like shout out.
It was like a little hint, like a little Easter egg. So there's a lot going on in this episode.
Where did he go in the hat?
Yeah.
This was probably the main storyline of episode 4, is the Hook and Rumple relationship right now, and how they are in an alliance.
Alliance / like they're against each other. It's left they keep like blackmailing each other left, right, and center.
Yeah, he's like, well...
Like, well, I'll tell you this. Well,
yeah,
I'll tell you this.
Well, I'll tell Belle this. Well, then I'll make sure Swan dies. Yeah, but then I can tell Belle this. Well, if you ruin my marriage, I'll ruin your relationship.
Like they make that deal, right? And they follow the broom over to Sorcerer's Apprentice's house. And, you know, Hook's helping him out and all that, just to get his hand back.
And
then, like, yeah, like imagine how that must be from, like, Hook's point of view. Like, he's seeing, like what kind of life does he think Rumple leads? Just goes to this old man's house and sucks him into a hat, and Hook's just going along with it.
I know, it's like,
he's like,
okay.
well, I guess I can tell Belle this.
It's just an average day in Storybrook, right? Like, Hook's seen stuff like that happen. Where does Belle think he is all the time? Like, at the shop? What does he do at the shop?
Yeah.
Nothing.
He's got all these ulterior motives. Like, he's like teaming up with like Snow Queen and all that too.
Yeah, and then like, it's so funny when he makes a deal with people, because every time he makes a deal with someone, he like has something for them to do right away. It's like he has a list of all these tasks, and he just needs.
He's just waiting for someone to walk into a shop and be like, I need this. He's like, yes.
He has like an agenda, and he's like, by the end of this week, make sure you suck man into hat. Hook's like, okay, we'll make a deal. He's like, perfect, I have someone to do this now. Like, crosses it off the list.
It's cool though, like how like Belle is the only thing he really cares about.
Yeah.
Like, he doesn't have anything bad against. But,
well, Emma's the only thing Hook has.
Yeah. Also, I guess it was established in this episode that Hook is homeless and he sleeps on park benches.
Yeah, and I think it is established that Hook and Emma are a legitimate couple now.
Yeah.
Like, they're dating.
Yeah.
They're
dealing. They're not dealing anymore. They're actually dating.
Yeah,
I don't know how that works.
They're dating. I thought that was cute how when when Will was in jail, he was like, why are you keeping me here? Because you ruined my date. That was cute.
You ruined my date. I'm the sheriff.
That little shout out to Once Upon a Time in Wonderland, interesting. Kind of wish I knew what Will's backstory is in Once Upon a Time.
Yeah, that might explain, like, that could explain a lot more of what's going to happen maybe if we watch that show. But
like why he's interested in like the Once Upon a Time in Wonderland book. Like, how do you even get to Storybrook? It's like no one knows, right?
Yeah.
The scene where Emma was chasing the Snow Queen and then it just ended, that was really random.
I feel like that was just to show that, hey, Snow Queen's still here, it's still happening.
Yeah, I guess so.
Because there's like so much other crap going on.
I think this is probably the best episode of season 4 so far though. That's my opinion.
Yeah. I think it's hilarious how like, I don't know if anyone else has picked up on this, but for some reason, Henry's going around playing matchmaker. He's like trying to hook up with like Regina with Robin Hood, be like, all right, you guys, make sure you guys get together. And now he's like trying to hook up like Emma and Hook. He's like, okay, now you guys get together.
I can't take Henry seriously.
He's gonna become Mickey Mouse.
He's gonna become Mickey Mouse?
Yeah.
There's already a Mickey Mouse.
He's gonna be like, oh boy.
Hi folks.
That's not how he sounds.
That is how Mickey Mouse sounds. Hi folks.
Hi folks, doesn't say hi folks.
He does say hi folks.
Oh boy. I can't do it. And next then there's gonna be like this sync between like Regina and Rumple now, and then Hook's gonna have to help Rumple, and then it's just gonna be like everyone in Storybrook's just fighting and Emma has no idea what's going on. We got Emma trying to go after the Snow Queen, plus has a dude in jail. Hook's trying to like figure shit out with Rumple. And then Regina's trying to find a writer, and
at the same time she's trying to save Marion. Henry's trying to go undercover to find out information and keep a part-time job and be at school.
Wait, part-time job?
Yeah, he's working at Rumple's shop.
Oh, I thought he used to kind of do like co-op or like volunteering. No. He should pull Rumple's card on him, and if like Rumple asks him to come in, he's like, hey, my shop's dirty. He should be like, oh, all work comes at a price. Everyone's just clashing. It's kind of cool. And I like that like they're not using too many, well, I can't really say they're not using too many gimmicks because they are, but like they're keeping everything self-contained in the Storybrook, and they're managing to create like a storyline just based around each other. The only like curveball really is like this Fantasia stuff.
It's definitely gonna tie into the writers of the book.
The Snow Queen thing, I feel like I don't see how that's like, that almost feels like it's out of place now.
Yeah, but now
like,
it's gonna be like, now it's gonna be like, well, how does she know Emma?
Yeah, so many questions.
Yeah.
All right, well,
all right,
that's that. Have fun cutting that one.